Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Lesson number 2 in Khulasat-un-Nahw. In this lesson we will talk about ism, fi'l and harf, which are the three types of word. So we will talk about these three and the description of their signs. So as we learned earlier, the types of kalima are three. There are three types of word. A kalima, yeah? A word can either be, a kalima can either be an ism, which is a noun, or it can be a fi'l, which is a verb, or it can be a harf, which is a particle. Now, it is telling us here now, the kalima which makes its meaning clear itself. The kalima which makes its own meaning clear itself. And it doesn't have a tense. It doesn't have a past tense, present tense or future tense. Then such a kalima is called an ism. This is known as an
Ism.
Yeah, ism meaning noun. For example, qalamun. Qalamun, the word which means pen. So you see in qalamun, the meaning becomes clear itself. As soon as you hear the word, the meaning is clear, you know it's a pen. What else we notice from here is, it doesn't tell you anything about the past, or whether it's in the present, or whether it's in the future. It just tells you its meaning, and it's not connected to any of the three tenses. Do you understand? Number 2, the second type of kalima was which one? The kalima which makes its meaning clear itself as well, yeah? Just like ism, yeah? It makes its meaning clear itself, but there's also a tense in it. But this time it's also going to have a
Tense in it.
tense. Like what? Like past, present or future. Yeah. This one is also going to tell you about that. And this type of word, this type of kalima is called a fi'l. What is this?
Fi'l.
Fi'l. A fi'l is a verb. Like a doing word. Verbs are doing words. Yeah. The words which denote that a person is doing an action, something. Yeah. Fi'l. Now what does the example tell you? Yaqulu. The example of yaqulu means he said. Now, this kalima yaqulu, does it make its meaning clear itself? Yes. And what else does it have? No, yaqulu means he says. Qala would mean he said. Yaqulu means he says. So does this type of word also have a tense? Yes. It will tell you whether he said it in the past. If he said he said, qala, it would be a verb in the past tense. If you say yaqulu, he says, then it will be a verb in the present tense. Do you understand? So, this is the second type of kalima. The third type of kalima doesn't make its meaning clear itself. You need to join this word with other words so that its meaning becomes clear. This is known as a particle, which is called harf. What is this called?
Harf.
A harf, for example, min and ilah. Min means from, ilah means to. So if you said the word, look, min on its own, from, does it like make any sense? No. Like you say, what do you mean from? Or if a person says to, ilah, on its own, will it make any sense? No. Do you understand? But if you say, for example, from Makkah to Medina, then does it make sense? From and to, yeah. Do you get it? Then to and from only make sense when they are connected to other words. When they're connected to
Other words.
So, what was an ism? Look, there's two signs for each of them. What's the sign of ism? It makes the meaning clear itself, and it doesn't have a tense. It doesn't have a
Tense.
What was the thing about fi'l? It makes the meaning clear itself as well. And what about tense? It does have a tense. What does it have?
It has a tense.
It has a tense. Like it tells you whether it is past, present or future. And what was the third type? The third type of kalima was the harf. What does that do? It doesn't even make its meaning clear itself. What does it need? It needs to be joined up with other words so that its meaning becomes clear. Now next. Now I can tell you there are three tenses, okay? Obviously, what are they? Past, present and future. The past is known as madi.
Madi.
Present is known as hal.
Hal.
And the future is known as mustaqbil.
Mustaqbil.
Okay, now it will give you some signs of a noun. It will give you about 5 signs. If you see these signs in an Arabic word, then this means this word is going to be an ism. It's going to be a noun. Number 1, if it has alif lam at the beginning, if the word has an alif lam at the beginning, al, this will tell you that this word is an ism. It's a noun. For example, it gives you ash-shukru, al-shukru, yeah, ash-shukru. This means like the thanks, yeah, or all thanks it could be, yeah. Alhamdu, like the praise or all praise, yeah. When it has al in front of these words, what type of words are these? What type of kalima are these? They are ism. What are they?
Ism.
Why? Which sign has told us? The alif lam at the beginning. What has told us?
Alif lam.
Correct. Next, having a harf jar. Harf jar is a particle in front of it, like a harf, a joining particle, yeah? For example, in this example it says fi darin. Fi darin means in house, yeah? In a house. Because dar is a house and fi means in. Now when fi comes before dar, because a particle is coming before dar, is telling you that dar is an ism. Dar is an
Ism.
So dar in house is what?
Ism.
It's ism. Why? Because it has a harf jar. You understand? A harf jar, a connecting particle, like in, it won't come before a verb. It won't come before a verb. It will only come before ism, yeah? Another one, having a jar, having a particle before it. Yeah, like bil haqqi, which means like with the truth. So haqq here is an ism. Al haqq, yeah, what you going to say? So this is it is an ism. Why? Because it's got jar before it. What's it got before it?
Jar before.
Jar. Number 4, if it has a tanween. A word has a
Tanween.
What's tanween? Do zabar, do zair,
do pesh.
do pesh. If any of the Arabic words have a do zabar, do zair, do pesh, we know it is an ism. It is a noun. What is it?
No.
No.
Ism. What is it?
An ism.
For example, rajulun, which means a man, waladun, which means a boy, like or son. Yeah. So you see, these two are nouns. They are ism. Why they ism? What have they got on them? They've got a tanween on them. What sign have they got on them?
Tanween.
The do pesh. Can you see at the end? Rajulun, waladun. So because they've got do pesh, they got tanween. Therefore, they are an ism. The last one which sign which is an ism is when it has a round ta. Amatun. For example, amatun. And what is amatun? Is a servant woman, a servant girl, yeah? So this amatun also has it has a round ta. Which other sign does it also have to show you that it is an ism? It also has do pesh. It also has a tanween, which is number 4. So what will you say about the word amatun? It is an ism. Why? Because look, it's got tanween on it and it's got a round ta. So the round ta only comes on words which are ism. Next. So these are 5 signs of an ism which you should revise, yeah, and remember. Then you can, whenever you see an Arabic word, then if you see one of these signs in it, then you will be able to identify that this word is an ism. How do you identify a verb, a fail? Identifying a fail, a verb, some signs it shows you. If it has these 3 things before it, then you will know it is a verb. Yeah. For example, if it has qad, qaf and a dal, yeah, the word qad comes before it. Or seen comes before it, like sa, seen zabar, sa. Or sofa. Or if what comes before it? Sofa. So if these words these letters come before a word, like a verb, yeah, then these will tell you that this word is a verb. Yeah, what is this word?
Verb.
Yeah, it's a verb. It's a fi'l. For example, when it tells you here in the examples, it says qad. Qad sami'a. Qad means indeed.
Indeed.
Sami'a. What does sami'a mean? Indeed, he heard or he listened. It means he definitely heard or he definitely listened. Right? Someone says, oh, was that person here in the class? Did he hear their advice? And then the person in reply will say, qad sami'a. He definitely heard. Do you get it? So, what does qad come before? Qad will only come before a fi'l. It will only come, the word qad will only come before a fi'l, a verb. So then the word which is coming after qad is only going to be a fi'l, a verb. Then there's like saya'lamu. When you put sin zabar sa in front of ya'lamu, then it's like soon he will know. Alright? Like he's talking about the future tense, yeah? Soon he will know. Soon he will know meaning in the future, yeah? And that comes before a verb. What does that come before?
Verb.
And even sawfa. For example, he said sawfa ya'lamu. Yeah, one is for near future and one is for the distant future. Seen for near future, sawfa is for distant future. Do you get it? So these things only come before a fail. Qad, sa, or sawfa. Number 4, it mentions here if a word is a amr, it's a command. A word is a command. For example, a person says iftah. What does iftah mean? Open. So what is the word iftah, open? It's an order, it's a command, it's an amr. So if any Arabic word is a command, it is also going to be a fail. What is also going to be?
Fail.
Also it mentions here nahi. And nahi is when a person says no, don't do it. A prohibition. Yeah? So for example, a person says la tadrib, do not hit. Yeah? Do not hit. La tadrib. So when it is a prohibition, what type of word is it going to be? It's going to be a fi'l. It's going to be a verb. Another thing, a sign is if a word is a madi, past tense. If a word is madi, past tense. For example, ja'a. Ja'a means he arrived. He arrived is referring to the past tense. He arrived. So even in ja'a, because it's past tense is madi, it's going to be a verb, failed. Or if it's, for example, yasha'a. Yasha'a means he wills. And yasha'a is known as mudari'. What is it known as?
Mudari'.
Mudari' means present or future. Present.
And the future.
Yeah, it can be in present or it can be in the future. So these are the 7 signs. If it's got any of these 7 signs in the word, then you know that this word, this kalima, is a fi'l. If any of these signs exist in it, then you know that the kalima is a fi'l. It's a verb. It's not going to be an ism and it's not going to be a harf. It's going to be a verb, a fi'l. The last one is a harf. The sign of a harf is quite simple. The sign of a harf, a particle, these are usually the joining letters, the small ones. Like to and from, in, upon, stuff like that. Particle letters, yeah. These are known as harf. What is the sign of a harf? It doesn't have any sign of an ism and it doesn't have any sign of a fi'l. So it doesn't have a sign of the other two. The other two are the main ones, they're mostly used in Arabic, aren't they? The verbs, the nouns which are the ism and the verbs which are the fi'l. So this one doesn't have any signs of them. So it won't have any of these 5 signs of an ism. It won't have any of these 7 signs of a fi'l. So it'll just be a harf then. Therefore it will be a particle. For example, min, which means from. Ila, which means to. Fi, which means in. Yeah, stuff like this. So If you learn these signs well, then you'll be able to recognize whether a kalima is ism, fi'l or harf.